Well, now that you're sitting down, I suppose it's time to welcome you to a class act New York's The Drowsy Chaperone. I know we are in tight quarters, so I wanted to make sure you are aware of the fire exits closest to you. There is one to your left and two in the back of my house. Please, turn off your cell phones and stop tweeting bluebirds. And remember, I will not be accepting flash photography from this moment on. Oh, and only plan on unwrapping candy during the show if you will be sharing it with me. Now, we may proceed. I hate the theater. Well, it's so disappointing, isn't it? Do you know what I do when I'm sitting in a darkened theater, waiting for the show to begin? I pray. Oh, dear God, let it be a good show. And let it be short. Oh, Lord in heaven, please. 2 hours is fine. 3 hours is too much. And don't let the actors come into the audience. God, I didn't pay good money to have the fourth wall come crashing down around my ears. I just want a story and a few good songs to take me away. I just want to be entertained. I mean, isn't that the point? Amen. You know, there was a time when people would sit in a darkened theater and think to themselves, what have George and Ira Gershwin got in store for me tonight? Or, can Cole Porter pull it off again? Now it's, please, Elton John, must we continue this charade? If you used to be sitting there in the dark, you knew that when the show began, you would be taken to a different world. A world full of music and color and glamour. And you would think to yourself, my God, when are they going to bring up the lights? A lot of things have changed. Hello. How are we today? I'm feeling a little blue myself. A little anxious for no particular reason. A little sad that I should feel anxious at this age. You know, a little self-conscious anxiety resulting in a non-specific sadness. A state that I call blue. Anyway, whenever I'm feeling this way, blue, I like to listen to my music. So, I was going through my box of records this morning. Yes, records. And I was about to put on the soundtrack recording of Meredith Willson's The Music Man. I had a craving for a young Ronnie Howard. But then I thought to myself, no, let's have ourselves a treat. Let's disappear for a while into the decadent world of the 1920s, when the champagne flowed and the caviar chilled and all the world was a party. For the wealthy, anyway. So, I dug about, and what did I find but one of my favorite shows, Gable and Stein's The Drowsy Chaperone. Remember? Music by Julie Gable, lyrics by Sidney Stein. It's the full 2-record set, remastered from the original recording made in 1928. It's the entire original cast, including Beatrice Stockwell as the chaperone. Isn't she elegant? This is a full 15 years before she became Dame Beatrice Stockwell. Can you believe it? Ooh, let me read to you what it says on the back. It says, mix-ups, mayhem, and a gay wedding. Of course, the phrase gay wedding has a different meaning now, but back then, it just meant fun. And that's what this show is, fun. So, would you indulge me? Let me play the record for you. I was hoping you would say yes. Do you hear that static? I love that sound! To me, it's the sound of a time machine starting up. Okay, let's visualize. Imagine, if you will, it's November 1928, and you just arrived at the doors of the Morosco Theater in New York. It's very cold out. Remember when it used to be cold in November? Not anymore. November's the new August. It's global warming. We're all doomed. Anyway, it's very cold out, and there's a heavy gray sleet falling from the sky. But you don't care, because you're about to hear a Broadway show. Listen. Isn't this wonderful? It helps if you close your eyes. Overtures are out of style now. I miss them. They're a musical's way of welcoming you. Hello, welcome. Your meal will be served shortly, but in the meantime, would you like an appetizer? That's what an overture is, a musical appetizer. A poo-poo platter of tunes, if you will. Oh, something new. Sounds kind of like a dance tune. Kind of raucing. Maybe only pirates. Don't worry, there's no pirates. Okay, now this is it. The moment when the music starts to build and you know you're only seconds away from being transported. The curtain's going up. I can't wait.
Yes, madame.
How do I look?
You look radiant, Mrs. Toppendale.
Oh, I do love this dress so. It never goes out of style.
It's a miracle, madame.
My dress, my fancy dress. I don't know why I'm wearing it, I must confess. My dress, I love my dress. Would someone tell me why I put it on?
Yes, your dress, your fancy dress. Was such a pleasure airing it, restitching and repairing it. God bless your dress, it's one fine dress. And I will tell you why you put it on. Wedding bells will ring, wedding bells will chime. Madam, you're the hostess and it's happy wedding time. Wedding bells will ding, wedding bells will gong. Wedding bells will ding, the ring and we will ding along.
Your fancy dress, very time you put it on.
Wedding guests have come,
Wedding guests are here.
wedding guests are at the door and soon they will appear.
I'm Robert, the bridegroom. I'm here to marry Janet, the star of Feldzig's Follies, whom I love a lot.
I'm George, that's George, his best man, George. I'm honored to be doing what a best man ought. This is Tottendale. Now, don't worry, I have this whole wedding planned out. The key is organization. See, each string represents a task yet to be completed. Pay the musicians, deal with the florist, book the minister. This whole wedding is gonna run like clockwork.
Oh, is there going to be a wedding? I'm Feldzig, producer. I want my leading lady. I gotta stop this wedding or I'm not worth squat.
I'm Kitty, just Kitty. I came with Mr. Feldzig. I'll be a leading lady if I get my shot. We're pastry chefs. We cross our hearts. We're pastry chefs. No fakery. Our bakery is what we got.
Adolfo, my name it is Adolfo. I am the king of romance, so I say joy, Lord. Wedding bells will ring, wedding bells will chime, wedding bells will celebrate a happy wedding time.
Someone has to come. Someone isn't here.
Where is Janet and the graph and when will she appear?
It's Janet and the
I'm Janet Vandergraaf, here to marry Robert Martin, giving up on life with glamour to tie the knot. Am I late? I'm the chaperone of Janet Vandergraaf, maid of honor, friend and confidant, and all that rot. Where's the bar?
bitch, madame.
A wedding, how very
I brought my own.
a wedding today.
Pain makes me drowsy.
It's really happening, truly happening, almost happening. What is happening?
Giggling, a wedding,
So guests have arrived. We have a bride with United States love, a debonair groom, a harried producer, jovial gangsters posing as pastry chefs, a flaky queen, a Latin Lothario, and an aviatrix. And of course, my favorite character, the Drowsy Chaperone. What more can we need for an evening's entertainment? Wasn't that wonderful? And we will sing along? I don't even know what that means. Okay, I'll try to lead you through this record as best I can. Don't worry, it won't be that hard to follow. So, we begin with a welcome from the love-struck groom.
Well, I just want to thank everybody for coming. Why, I must be some lucky fellow. Who would have thought that I, Robert Martin, would be marrying a glamorous showgirl, and that glamorous showgirl would be willing to give up a successful career for me, Robert Martin. And now, if it weren't for Prohibition, I'd say, let's raise a glass. To Miss Janet Van de Graaff, the most beautiful girl in the world.
Absolutely not.
Excuse me.
The groom mustn't see his bride on the day of the wedding. It's bad luck.
I hope you heard that, because that's the plot, basically. Hang on for the ride.
Breakfast will be served in the Arabian room.
Say, it's a little early in the day to be drinking, isn't it?
I don't understand the question.
Look, you keep Janet away from Roberts. You're the chaperone. That's your only job.
I'm on captain.
Oh, Robert, who's my little monkey?
I'm your little monkey.
So the bride and groom are whisked away, and we turn our attention to the B-plot, which involves the producer.
Mr. Felton?
Getting married and leaving show business.
Mr. Felton?
Doesn't she know I got obligations?
Mr. Felton, I could be your leading lady. You said it yourself. I'm useless in the chorus.
Kitty, for the last time, you ain't got what it takes.
But I've been taking lessons. Singing, acting, ballet.
Ballet?
Yeah, pretty good too. Last week, I auditioned for Swanee Lake.
A little annotation. Kitty and Feltzy were a couple in real life, Jack and Sadie Adler. Now, this is a familiar comical construct. The stupid woman and her long-suffering companion. Or at least, she appears stupid. But in the end, she does something really clever and makes everyone wonder if it was all just an act. Of course, the irony here is Sadie was actually stupid in real life. Jack had to explain to her all the jokes, apparently. But still, she had a wonderful career on the stage. At the time, the theater was the only place where stupid people could earn a decent living. This was before television, of course.
Kitty, I don't have time for this.
But Mr. Felton.
Not now.
How about a nice profiterole?
Boys, I'm not hungry.
Then perhaps we will give you something else to chew on. Yeah, something that ain't food.
What?
Your confusion is to be expected. Although we stand here before you in guise of innocent pastry chefs, we are also and primarily employees of a certain individual.
A certain individual.
A certain individual who happens to be the largest single investor in Felsig's Follies. He has sent us here as pastry chef to express his concerns on Miss Vendergraft's impending nuptials. Specifically, so that if she gets married and leaves the show, there ain't no show.
Say, don't I know you?
No, you don't.
Have you ever spent any time in Toledo?
Have you ever spent any time in a coma?
No, but I have a cousin in Seattle.
Kitty! Boys, you tell your boss he has nothing to worry about. This wedding is never going to happen.
Oh.
You have my word.
Oh, we'll take your word, all right. But to go back on that word would be a recipe for disaster. Now, I hope we have made ourselves perfectly clear. One can only hope.
You just gotta be kidding me!
A trite will not jump top with me.
Okay, you can drop the pastry chef routine.
Alas, we cannot. We're on the lamb. Lamb and entree, you macaroon!
The gangsters were played by interchangeable vaudeville duo, the Tall Brothers. John and Peter Tall. They were born Abram and Mendel Moslaskowicz, but were renamed at Ellis Island by a sarcastic immigration official. They were an early example of the typical Broadway gangsters, full of wordplay and stylized movement. Not very intimidating, unless you find dancers intimidating, which I do, but for reasons that would not be appropriate to this situation.
We'll leave the matter in your hands, Mr. Feltsig. In the meantime, feel free to browse the dessert carousel. Try the Toledo surprise. It's to die for!
Holy cats, Mr. Felsen! They're gangsters!
Very perceptive. Now go powder your face. I've got to stop this wedding, but how? Oh, Lord in heaven, how? How?
I always thought that moment was a little overplayed. So, with the story well on its way, let's go to the groom's room.
Hey there, handsome. Show me those pearly whites.
The groom was played by the dashing Percy Hyman. He started out as the Albright toothpaste man. His fabulous smile adorned every tube. Now, Albright was hugely popular in the early 20s because it contained cocaine. It's true. If you looked at the label, it was the fifth ingredient down, right after sugar. Anyway, it wasn't long before he became a huge matinee idol.
Now, don't you worry. It's perfectly normal to a groom to be nervous on his wedding day. Is it? Of course!
I love Percy Hyman. Now, some people say he was a bad actor, but to those people I say, shut up!
Hey there, Mr. Mirror Man, shaking and a-quaking, trembling like them afraid cats do. Something may be bothering you. You know what you got? Cold feet, cold feet. Brother, you've got cold feet. You can make them cold feet hot with a little rhythm. Young feet, old feet can be uncontrollable feet. Rhythm make them cold feet trot down the aisle. Frosty arches, they can learn to swing. Icy toes can jive. Wedding marches played in ragtime swing. Make rigid souls come alive and to take that dive. Cold feet, small feet, turn them into bold feet. Rhythm make them cold feet.
You don't say. Well, why don't you slime back into your mud hole, you backstabbing worm? Great. Now I have to find another minister. Say, what are you up to?
I'm singing an old song, a Dixie remedy for wedding day jitters.
Jitters? You think you've got jitters? You've got the easy part. I've still got to get rice, boutonnieres, and a minister. I have the weight of the wedding on my shoulders.
George, it sounds like you've got cold feet.
What do I got?
Cold feet.
What do I want?
Bold feet.
What do I do? Scold feet?
Now you make the cold feet hot.
A 5, 6, 7, 8. Cold feet, cold feet.
Turn them into bold feet. Let make them cold feet hot. Make cold feet hot. Make cold feet hot. Make cold feet hot.
Percy Hyman was a wonderful performer. I like to think of him panting and sweating after a long dance number. He's still alive, you know. I saw him on the news recently celebrating his 100th birthday. To say that the passing years had taken their toll on him would be a grotesque understatement. And they wheeled him out, and he had this wide-eyed expression of pain confusion that God reserves for the very, very old on their birthdays. You know, the one that says, "Who are you? Who am I? And why is this cake on fire?" You know the one I'm talking about? Anyway.
All right. That's enough of that, dancing around like a fool.
I'm sorry, George. I was just trying to calm my nerves. It is my wedding day, after all.
Well, you could have snapped an ankle or something. Tap dancing is too dangerous. Say, why don't you go out for a skate? That's what I want to do when I want to blow off some steam.
George, what would I do without you?
But wait, what was I thinking? Oh, no. You can't go out looking like that, my friend. You might see Janet. Here, put on this blindfold.
George, what would I do without you?
Just looking out for you, my boy, and no more tap dancing. Wedding bells will ring. Wedding bells will chime. Wedding bells will celebrate.
Just ignore it. This happens occasionally. It rings. It'll stop soon. Just ignore it. What? What do you want?
Hello, you've reached my answering machine. Leave a short message after the tone, and I'll call you back at my convenience.
Well, that's it. The moment's ruined. Thank you. Thank you, life. It's like a cell phone going off in the theater. God, I hate that. Hello, what are you doing? Oh, I'm at the theater ruining a moment. What are you doing? Oh, I couldn't get out tonight, so I'm ruining the moment by proxy! Sorry. Let's just brush that off. Let's go back in our minds to 1928. They didn't have cell phones in 1928, although I'm sure they had something for the ruining of moments. Bugles or something!
Happy wedding time!
So the scene shifts and we find the bride, the glamorous Janet Vandergraff, entertaining questions from reporters as she lounges by the pool.
Miss Vandegraff, is it true you're giving up a successful career to marry a man you hardly know?
Yes, Robert and I met on the Lido deck of the Ile-de-France. He amused me with stories of his father's oil interests. We spooned. Briefly, and then he proposed.
You won't be returning to the States ever?
I shan't.
You shan't?
I shan't.
Can we coach you on that?
Of course. One more question. Yes.
Why in the world would anyone put olives in a Gibson?
I've got a question. How can you give up the footlights when you know very well you got grease paint in your veins?
Oh, Victor.
Oh, please, Janet, please. I'm begging you. Dump the mug. Stay with the police. I'll give you anything you want. Oh, fine. I'll put your name above mine on the marquee.
Oh, Victor. If you think this is about vanity, you couldn't be more wrong. I don't want to show off no more. I don't want to sing tunes no more. I don't want to write tunes no more. I don't want to show off. I don't want to wear this no more. Play the saucy Swiss Miss no more. Blow my signature no more. I don't want to show off. Don't try to control me. I've made up my mind, and that's it. I quit. I'm leaving it all behind. I don't want to be cute no more. Make the gentleman hoots no more.
Hey, baby.
I don't want to wear fruit no more. I don't want to show off.
You don't want to show off no more.
Not me.
Put your name in the news no more.
Free.
Glowing reviews no more.
Oh, gee, I don't want to show off.
You don't want to show off.
I don't want to show off.
You don't want to show off no more. Oh, no more.
Not me. Whee! I don't want to show off. Please, no more attention. I've counted to 10, and I'm through. Adieu. You'll never see this. You'll never see this. Never see this. Never see that. Never see these again. I don't want to change these no more. I don't want to striptease no more. I don't want to say cheese no more. I don't care if you scoff. I don't want to be cheered no more. Praised no more. Grabbed no more. Touched no more. Loved no more. I don't want to show off. I don't want to show off. I don't want to show off. I don't want to show
Well, Mr. Feltzig, it's painfully obvious Miss Vendegraff has no desire to continue a life on the stage. Can't you see it's killing her soul?
This isn't over yet.
Yeah, I'm surprised she didn't do an encore.
I don't wanna encore no more. Keep them shouting for more, no more. Disappear through the floor, no more. I don't wanna show.
That was Jane Wyatt Roberts as the bride. She was the Oops girl. Remember? Surely you remember the Oops girl. She was billed as the girl whose energy was so great, it caused the men around her to have accidents. Spill their drinks, drive their cars into trees. And she'd go, Oops! I'm not doing it justice, but people ate it up. She had her own series of films. Oops, the Oops Girl. Oops Girl Come Home. Oops Girl at Sea, which won an Oscar for special effects.
All right. So begging and groveling didn't work. On to plan B. For that, I'm going to need someone gullible with loose morals. I need, what do you call him? A European.
La 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 la!
In walks Aldolfo, self-proclaimed ladies' man. Aldolfo was played by former silent film star and world-class alcoholic Roman Bartelli. He was the one who drank himself to death at his chateau in Nice, remember? It was 5 days before they found his body, and by that time it had been partially consumed by his poodles. Well, it was only partially consumed.
I don't believe we've met.
I am. Adolfo!
You are Adolfo?
Yes, I am. Adolfo!
Not the Adolfo.
Yes, I am. Adolfo!
Funny. You don't look like a scoundrel to me.
Yes, I what?
Why, just now, I overheard the groom say, why, that Adolfo's a scoundrel. I just heard him say that.
Adolfo, a scoundrel?
Those very words.
Adolfo is a scoundrel.
Like I'm hearing it again.
This is outrageous. You mean he is saying this to the peoples, to the beautiful ladies? Why, I must.
You must take matters into your own hands.
Yes, I must take this room into my hands and kill him.
Yes, no. Don't kill him, but just hurt him enough so he can't get married.
Show me to this room. Wait,
What?
what kind of man is this groom? A big man?
Well,
Burly fellow?
well, he's big only.
No. Adolfo will not fight big men. Small little pale with door-sized people Adolfo can punch far away, but no big men.
I see. So you're a lover, not a fighter.
Yes, Adolfo is lover of beautiful ladies. Some say I'm king of romance.
Well, you know what they say. The best way to get revenge at a man is through his...
Door.
The best way to get back at a man is through his...
Window.
No. Revenge back at a man through his...
Through his... There is no other ways. I'm not Santa Claus coming down chimney. Do I look like him? Ho, ho, ho!
Through his woman.
Ah, through his woman.
His bride.
Yes. His woman.
Adolfo, you must seduce his bride.
I got an idea. Adolfo will seduce the bride. That will show people Adolfo is no scoundrel. Show me to this bride. Wait.
What?
What kind of woman is this bride? A big woman.
No.
A burly woman.
No. She's the cat's pajamas.
Pajamas?
She's an attractive woman. A looker.
Then you must show me to this cat in pajamas. And Adolfo will make her purr.
Stop it.
Like a cat in pajamas.
Roman Bartelli chewing the scenery. You certainly couldn't get away with a performance like that nowadays, could you? Mature contemporary audiences have grown too sophisticated for broad racial stereotypes on the stage. So we banished them to Disney. Let the children sort it out.
Underling!
Yes, madame.
The pastry chefs have been kind enough to provide the liquor for the party. But remember, Underling, we must be discreet.
Yes, madame.
It is prohibition after all.
I'm aware of that, madame.
We'll have to use code words. Now, for example, if someone asks for a glass of ice water, it really means they want a glass of vodka. Have you got that?
Yes, madame.
What's a glass of ice water?
Vodka.
Are you sure about that? Do you want to write it down?
A glass of ice water is a glass of vodka.
What's a glass of ice water?
Vodka.
Ice water?
Vodka.
Ice water?
Vodka.
Well, then you see, it's settled then. One thing less to do. Underling, might I please have a glass of ice water? I found that meeting with the pastry chefs rather trying, and I would like to enjoy a glass of refreshing ice water.
Your ice water, madame.
That was pure vodka, you poop!
I hate this scene.
Well, now I really do need a glass of ice water.
Ice water, madame?
Yes, ice water. Are you going deaf?
Would that I were.
You can see where this is going, can't you? It's basically just a series of spit takes.
Your ice water, madame.
That was pure vodka, you poop!
You know, in some ways, the Drowsy Chaperone was quite progressive. A woman playing the aviatrix, for instance.
Your ice water, madame.
That was pure vodka, you poop!
Yes, some elements were quite progressive. Others were stale in 1928. You know what? I'm just going to skip ahead.
Find some lime juice, madame!
Lime juice? For heaven's sake, why?
I am going to wring out my eyebrows and make myself a gimlet!
Now you're probably asking yourself, what was that routine doing in the show? Well, it's simple, really. There's a song coming up and they needed something to allow for the set change. It's mechanics.
In a few hours, I'm going to be Mrs. Robert Martin. Oh, my head is spinning.
Yes, life is a mad whirlwind.
Now, this is a really interesting scene. This is the only part in the show where Jane Roberts and Beatrice Stockwell are alone together on the stage. Now, Jane Roberts was an up-and-coming star, but Beatrice Stockwell was already well-established and a force to contend with.
I'm so full of apprehension, but I suppose that's normal, considering the circumstances. Have you ever been married, Chaperone?
No, I prefer to drink for pleasure, not out of necessity.
Your ice water, madame. I'm afraid we're fresh out of olives.
Have you ever been married, Underling?
Heavens, no, madame. If I will serve a woman, I prefer to be paid for my efforts.
Oh, you too. I suppose you think it's crazy giving up a successful career to marry a man I hardly know, but somehow, for some reason, when I look into his eyes, his big monkey eyes, oh gee, I get all woozy. And that's love, isn't it?
Not necessarily. The wooziness may be caused by many a number of things. I mean, I'm woozy right now, and I'm certainly not in love.
Beatrice Stockwell was famous for her rousing anthems. She entertained and inspired troops in every major world conflict up to and including the Falklands War. Of course, by then she was well into her 80s, and her anthems didn't so much rouse as stupefy. But still, she demanded that a rousing anthem be included in every show she ever did, even if it wasn't appropriate. But you just couldn't say no to her. That's star power.
Please, Chaperone, you're not being the least bit helpful. Couldn't you just allay my fears with a few choice words of inspiration?
Inspiration? Really, dear, that's not my forte.
Yes, but if you...
As we stumble along on life's sunny journey, as we stumble along into the blue, we look here and we look there, seeking answers anywhere, never sure of where to turn or what to do. Still we bumble our way through life's crazy labyrinth, barely knowing left from right nor right from wrong. And the best that we can do is hold the bluebird will sing his song as we stumble along.
That was quite... That was quite nice, Chaperone, but I just don't see how it pertains to my situation.
Let me explain.
Yeah, I'm not really sure I need that. I suppose I'm just looking for a sympathetic...
It's a dismal little world in which we live. It can bore you till you've nothing left to give. 7 overrated wonders, 7 underwhelming seas, 6 excruciating continents, Antarctica? Oh, please.
Antarctica, oh please.
Still, you mustn't let it lick you. This planet, oh so bland. Keep your eyeball on the highball in your hand. As we stumble along across life's crowded dance floor, as we push and we shove, we live and we learn. And when we finally leave the bar and we see that morning star, we pull our bootstraps up and homeward turn. Then we stumble away through dawn's blinding sunbeams, barely knowing right from right, nor left from wrong. But as long as we can hear that little bluebird, there'll be a song. Yeah!
love her. Basically, she sings a rousing anthem about alcoholism. That's what I love about Beatrice Stockwell. She just does her own thing when she wants, regardless of the needs and concerns of others. My mother was like that.
Well, that was quite nice, Chaperone, but I'm still confused. Oh, please, just tell me. Is Robert the man for me?
My dear, that is something you'll have to decide for yourself.
But I just don't know if he loves me.
Then why don't you ask him? Why don't you say, Roger, do you love me?
It's Robert. And I'm not allowed to see him. In fact, it's your job to keep me away from him.
Yes, it is. And I take my responsibility very seriously. However, I'm just this moment feeling terribly, terribly drowsy. I'm afraid I'll have to have a lie down. Now, whatever you do, don't go wandering through the garden seeking out your fiancé to ask him the question upon which your future happiness depends.
Oh, thank you, Chaperone. I just have to know if he loves me.
What a skinny little fool. Still, I envy her. When will love come crashing through my door?
La 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 la!
In walks Adolfo, here to seduce the bride.
I am Adolfo!
Try not to think of the poodles during this part.
I am Adolfo, and you are the bride.
No, I'm not.
What? This is Brighton Suite, and you are only one here. Therefore, you must be bride.
Interesting argument, but I'm afraid you are a moron.
What?
Me? No. Bride. Perhaps I could take a message.
Yes, yes, very good, very good. Dear Mrs. Van de Graaff, bride, I must seduce you and transport you to a place of ecstasy. Sooner is better. Signed Adolfo, King of Romance.
Well, you saw through my little ruse. You found me out.
Ah, so you are the bride.
Apparently, yes. Now take me, Adolfo.
No, not Adolphus. Who is that? I'll die for. How can I make you remember? I'm sure that you have heard the name Adolfo, a ladies' man who wins the claim Adolfo. Well, lovely miss, I am the same Adolfo. I introduce myself, I am Adolfo.
Nice to meet you. Shall we?
Not so fast. So just in case you didn't hear Adolfo, I try to make it very clear, Adolfo. The lovely ladies always cheer Adolfo. When I repeat myself, I am Adolfo.
Understood.
I can sing it high, I can sing it low, Adolfo. I can sing it very fast. I do. I can sing it very slowly. I will do it now, but it would take hours. Now let's see if you can remember my name.
Give it a shot.
Now who's the fellow that you see?
Adolfo.
And how's the beauty but to me?
Adolfo.
And who is it I'll always be?
Adolfo.
Now sing it proudly.
You are Adolfo.
Now let me spell it out for you. For all you lovely ladies who did not hear me for some reason. Because maybe you are hard of hearing or something. I don't know. It goes.
That was my mother's favorite number in the show. I think it was always her secret fantasy to be swept off her feet by a Latin lover. I mean, a real Latin lover, not a buffoon. But that's what musicals are all about, right? Romantic fantasy, falling in love at the drop of a hat, spontaneous tangling, suddenly finding yourself in an insanely romantic setting.
I'm an accident waiting to... Whoa! Don't worry, madam. I don't have to wear a blindfold. It's my wedding day.
A blindfold?
I'm sorry. Who am I speaking to anyhow?
Why, it's me. I mean, Mimi from France.
This scene couldn't be more ridiculous.
So, you're marrying Jeanne Van der Graaf, no?
Oi!
I hear she is very beautiful.
Oi!
And glamorous.
Ah, oi, oi.
Is it true that she has an exceptionally broad range and excels at playing both comedic and dramatic roles?
I'm sorry, I'm having trouble placing your accent. What part of France are you from again?
Ah, the middle part, where they make the toast.
That's right.
So, tell me, when was the moment you knew that she was the only one for you?
Well, funny story, actually. We were standing on the Lido deck of the Isle de France.
Oui, oui.
I was amusing her with stories of my father's oil interests.
And then what happened?
And then I looked into her eyes, her big glamorous eyes, and I felt all woozy.
And then you fell, and then you fell.
Yes, right on my keister. And then I looked at her and said, well, I guess I don't have my sea legs yet.
But we haven't left the dock.
That's what she said. And that's when I knew it must be love.
And then you said...
And then I said... There was a time I could stop on a dime. Forbearance was one of my talents. But since you've been around, I can't hold my ground. I'm consistently losing my balance. I'm an accident waiting to happen. I'm a mishap about to ensue. I'm the toy on the stair, the three-legged chair, the hem that's been caught by a shoe. When my two lovesick arms started flapping, there was nothing my ankles could do. I'm an accident waiting to happen, so how be I happen to you?
And then you said...
Well then, she joined in.
When men say I'm sweet and they fall at my feet, my heart doesn't beat any faster. But when you lose control, it touches my soul. So I'm bracing myself for disaster. You're an accident waiting to happen.
That's right.
A catastrophe destined to be.
That's me. I'm the rags in the cellar.
A broken umbrella,
The branch
branch
hanging
hanging
loose
loose
from
from
a
a
tree.
I can
accident's waiting to happen.
So hurry and happen to me.
Then what happened?
Well, then we kiss. You're an accident waiting to happen. So hurry and happen to me.
You kissed a French girl on your wedding day! Ah!
Oh no! What have I done? Wait!
So a blindfold and a fake French accent have led to a horrible misunderstanding. What a mess. Will it all work out in the end? Of course it will. This isn't real life. In musicals, everything always works out in the end. And the only people who burst into spontaneous song are the hopelessly deranged.
Where is that philandering foreigner?
Mr. Felton!
How long can it take to seduce one bride?
Mr. Felton! You don't need Janet no more.
Kitty, not now.
I've been working on a mind reading act. Presenting Kitty, the incomprehensible! Now think of something.
Oh, I'm thinking of something all
Wait.
right.
I'm getting it. Pick up some milk and a loaf of rye bread. And don't forget to shave your legs.
You're reading your own mind, you idiot!
Oh, no wonder it was so easy.
Mr. Felton! It would seem that the wedding is proceeding according to schedule. Now it is time you receive your just desserts. What do you say, partner? Should we whip up something special for Mr. Felton?
Yeah! How about a Toledo surprise?
An inspired choice.
Toledo surprise. I've never heard of that before.
No, you haven't. The people who have heard of it are generally never heard of them again.
We'll share the recipe with you.
First, you chop the nuts.
Then you pound the dough.
Then you bake it up nice and slow.
Then you got a Toledo. Toledo surprise!
Could you run that by me again?
It's a very simple recipe, Mr. Felton. First, you chop the nuts.
Then you pound the dough.
Then you bake it up
Nice and slow. Then you got a Toledo. Toledo surprise!
What do you say? Should we give him a little taste?
All right.
Hold it! What style, what grace, what rhythm? Open your fists. Now shake them. And give me that recipe one more time. Da 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 da. Go.
Chop the nuts, pound the dough, bake it up,
Crunch.
nice and slow. Then you got a Toledo. Toledo surprise.
Now sell it.
Pick the beef, peel the skin, mush it up, throw it in. That's a tasty Toledo. Toledo surprise.
Now you're cooking.
And beat it up. Then you sweet it up. When you heat it up, it starts to rise. Don't let it, it's a snap. Try it, folks. Quick your lights, flip your yolks. Then you got a Toledo. Toledo surprise.
You boys are natural.
Honest?
Keep it up. I'll go work on the contract.
Hey!
A 5, 6, 7, 8.
Mr. Fancy! Oh, what's going on in here?
I'm developing new act, Kitty.
Toledo surprise.
I mean, the pancakes on the show you won't put me in. They're not even in the union.
Kitty, you got it all wrong. This new act, it's for you. And these boys, they're your backup dancers.
Backup dancers? Holy cats! What that hot Toledo does to my libido. Good? Yes, indeed. Oh, sugary yum yum. Surprise! Squeeze the cream, grease the pan, lick the spoon,
Wait! Stop the music. Adolfo will make very important announcement. The wedding is officially off.
What? For the love of God, why?
Adolfo, seduce the bride.
That is not the bride, you idiot! That is the chaperone!
What?
The wedding is on.
The wedding is on.
What?
Robert kissed a French girl. Her name is Mimi, and she's very beautiful.
I couldn't help it, Janet. She was just like you. Only French.
Sweet mother of pearl.
Underling!
Yes, madame.
What is all this commotion about?
The wedding, madame.
Oh, is there going to be a wedding?
Oh, not anymore! Oh, what a tragedy! What a wonderful, wonderful tragedy! Lay on the floor, boys. I'll show you how it's done. First, you beat it up. Then you sweet it up. When you heat it up, if it tries to rise, don't let it. Toledo surprise!
Surprise!
Wait until it's ready.
Surprise!
Wait until it's ready.
Surprise!
Wait until it's ready.
Yeah, it's looking ready. Surprise!
You got it!
Makes me twitch, makes me shake. This dessert takes the cake. Hits me like a torpedo. Toledo surprise!
Toledo surprise!
Surprise! Yes, but the tune is so infectious.
Oh, Robert, this is the saddest day of my life.
Wedding bells will ring, wedding bells will chime, wedding never celebrate a happy wedding time.
And that's that. The curtain falls, and it's time for intermission. Or at least it would be if we were actually sitting in the Morosco Theater watching the Drowsy Chaperone. Oh my God. Which, of course, we are not. I hate intermissions. They ruin the magic, you know? They yank you back into reality. 1 second you're lost in a world of music and romance, and then bang, you're surrounded by tourists, crinkling candy wrappers and nattering about the lack of women's restrooms. It's cruel. Oh, sorry. It's a power bar. I have a bit of a blood sugar issue. I have to eat small meals throughout the day or I get jittery. I know it's rude, but you wouldn't like the alternative. Believe you me. Believe you me! I remember my wedding. The reception wasn't until 4 in the afternoon, and I hadn't had breakfast. Ah, I do. Oh, are you surprised I was married? Well, there you go. You shouldn't go making assumptions about people you don't know, now should you? I'm a very complicated person. I have to go pee now. Oh, don't worry. I won't be gone long. In the meantime, you can listen to the beginning of Act 2.
I bring a message from a nightingale.
Nightingale, nightingale, nightingale song.
I bring a message from a nightingale.
Nightingale.
What? You know about Emperor and American rating no see eye to eye.
But Emperor, sometimes a different outlook can change your point of view.
What?
Precisely. What is it about the Asians that fascinates Caucasians? What is it about the Asians that's so nice? Is it the wontons, the egg rolls, the rice? Perhaps it's Buddha or Confucius and their excellent advice.
What is it about Caucasians that mystifies the Asians? What is it about Caucasians that's so odd? They call a pretty ready abroad. They have hair upon their chest and they only have one God. Impossible! What?
Sorry. That song was not from the Drowsy Chaperone. That was from another musical entirely. I have a woman who comes in once a month. Can you say that? I have a woman? Anyway, she cleans the things I absolutely refuse to clean. She's very good, but she has an annoying habit of putting away my records. And in the wrong sleeves, even though I say, no touch records, Carmela, no touch records. I suppose if I spoke to her in full sentences, she'd stop touching my records. Anyway, that song opened Act 2 of another Gable and Stein musical, The Enchanted Nightingale, a degrading piece of chinoiserie about a magical bird who tells the emperor to marry his American elocutionist instead of his betrothed, and he ends up building the Great Wall of China. It's a slap in the face of 4,000 years of Chinese history. But it had some wonderful tunes. That was Beatrice Stockwell as American lady. And did you recognize Roman Bartelli as the emperor? Yes, he was the man of 1,000 accents, all of them offensive. Act 2 of The Drowsy Chaperone begins with this, a haunting lament from a very depressed bride. She sings it on her balcony while bathed in the pale blue light of a sympathetic moon, which is ridiculous because it's the middle of the day. Now, while you're listening to this part, try to ignore the lyrics. I know it will be difficult, but just block them out. They're not the best. But the melody is beautiful and it truly communicates the bride's state of mind. Just ignore the lyrics.
I put a monkey on a pedestal and tried to make that monkey stay. And he did for a time, but he needed to climb, and with other monkeys play far away. He left his jacket on the pedestal beside his tiny rusty cup, and I have it
just going to pour myself a brandy.
Come, my little monkey. Come, my little monkey.
The melody is so simple, it just floats in the air. And I must confess, I always get a little misty when I think of that tiny jacket lying on the pedestal, its long sleeves dangling on the floor.
Oh, monkey, 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 you broke my heart in two. But I'll always save that pedestal.
Pedestal.
For you. Come, my little monkey. Come, my little monkey.
Okay, now here we go.
Wait!
Who are you?
I'm Janet Vandegraff.
Do you need anyone?
I don't need anyone.
What about the love of one
I
man?
care about the love of one man when I am adored by millions. Do I need to be so gloomy?
No, no, no!
I can do the world a show I chose. Sigmund Freud sent flowers to me every show. Gertrude Stein, she handed me a rose.
Okay, now she really lets go.
I'm Janet Vandegraff. Ain't no nail that I can hammer. Why give up a life of glamour? Life of glamour, life of glamour. No!
I love this part. She's having a complete mental breakdown.
I'm an accident waiting to happen. I don't want to show off no more. I don't want to spread mirth no more. Be the greatest on earth no more. I do. I don't want to show off. And I can Jordan, futures, Jordan, and millions will do just fine. But any future I could ever care to say includes just one true tiny cat who drives me
Don't you just love that number? It has everything. A little Busby Berkeley, a little Jane Goodall. And that's another thing I love about musicals in general. When a character is in crisis, they sing and they dance, which is far more entertaining than just whining about it. But that's the glory of musical theater. Oh, you see, this is what I'm talking about. This is life. Whenever you manage to be happy for 5 seconds, something starts ringing.
What a beautiful day for a wedding!
Shall I have the pews removed now, or would you prefer I wait till morning?
Okay, I'm going to stop here because I don't want this number ruined by a ringing telephone. So, what we have here are 2 vaudeville performers who have slipped through the cracks of time. They are Noel Fitzpatrick and Ukulele Lil. I know nothing about them. I suppose Ukulele Lil played the ukulele, although she doesn't in this show. Actually, I tried to learn more about them. I went through all my books. I even tried the internet. But all my searches ended with Tiny Tim's autopsy photographs. Anyway, they're both charming.
Why would you have the pews removed?
The bride has called off the wedding, madame.
Oh, underling, never listen to a bride on her wedding day. Love is a very complex emotion.
Yes, madame.
You could love someone 1 minute, and the next minute you just want to strangle them. Do you understand?
I am familiar with the urge to strangle. Yes.
You see, underling, that's just the nature of love. Love makes lovers worry. Love makes lovers fret. But here's a fact on which we can depend. Just like long ago when Romeo loved Juliet, love is always lovely in the end.
But Romeo and Juliet was a tragedy, madame.
Oh, I never read reviews. Love can start a quarrel. Love can cause a din. But love has always been a trusty friend. 'Twas a happy fate for Hank VIII and Anne Boleyn. Love is always lovely in the end.
Haven't you heard? Anne Boleyn got her head chopped off.
Yes, she was in love! Love was good to Eve and Adam.
Here we go again.
And Samson and Delilah too.
Good grief, may I pose a question, madam?
Why, yes, of course.
Why is it that nothing I say to you ever gets through?
Don't mind if I do. Love is always lovely in the end.
Oh, I found that quite taxing. Excuse myself while I pour myself a glass of ice water.
Love sits up behind you, love drops from above, but love would never consciously offend. Love has certainly been kind to me, and my true love, love is always lovely in the end.
But your late husband was a brute.
I don't mean him, you silly coot. Love is always lovely.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. Love is always lovely in the end.
Love is always lovely in the end.
Yes, that was charming. But to be frank, on some level, that number pisses me off. Now, I'm going to say something here, and yes, I've been drinking. But I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that love is not always lovely in the end. Often in the end, there are lawyers. And another thing. Surely someone was aware of the awkward sexual connotation in that title. Love is always lovely in the end? I mean, is it just me? I guess the point I'm trying to make is that number is naive. And irresponsibly so. I'm sorry, I just thought that needed to be said for the benefit of the young people. I'll stop interrupting now. Oh, there's a moment coming up that I've become obsessed with.
There you are. Oh, Chaperone, I'm in a terrible state.
You certainly are. You can't go to the wedding looking like that.
Haven't you heard? The wedding's been called off.
Not your wedding. Mine! That reminds me, might I borrow your veil?
You're getting married? But to whom?
La 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 la! Ah, beautiful lady with baffled expression.
You're marrying Adolfo?
I know it's crazy, but when I look into his eyes, his big, clumsy eyes, I get all drowsy. And that's love, isn't it?
Yes, my dear, that is love. Help me.
There you are. All right. I'm going to put all my cards out on the table. I've got a weak heart. Can't take the pressure. If this goes on any longer, the old ticker's just going to give out. Please tell me, is there going to be a wedding or not?
Yes.
Thank the good Lord in heaven.
Adolfo and the chaperone are getting married.
What?
Oh, there you are! I have wonderful news! There's going to be a wedding!
We know.
You know?
Yes, we just heard.
But who told you?
I did.
But how did you know?
What difference does it make?
Mrs. Tartantel and I are to be married in the garden at 7:30 this evening.
What?
What? Oh, yes!
Congratulations to everyone.
Say, what kind of cockamamie wedding is this? Everybody's getting married except the bride and the groom.
Oh, there you are. Janet, I've been looking everywhere for you.
Hello, Mr. Martin.
Please don't be like that. Can't you find it in your heart to marry me? George has gone through all this trouble and, well, I do love you. More than I could say.
But you kissed another woman.
Yes, and I can't quite understand it. Now, this may sound ridiculous, but while I was kissing that French girl, why, it was like I was kissing you.
Oh, Robert, you were kissing me.
You mean you're Mimi?
Yes.
Well, that French accent of yours is remarkably accurate.
I know. I developed it when I played the role of Monique in Hold Zach Baguette.
There you are. Now, before you do anything, think about this. No matter how well you play the part of happy wife, you'll never, ever get a standing ovation.
Oh, I just don't know. I'm so confused. Chaperone, please, just this once, I beg you, please give me advice that is coherent and appropriate to the situation.
Now, this is the moment I was talking about. Not only the culmination of the plot, but a moment that has fascinated me more than any other and has kept me coming back to this record again and again. Okay, here it comes.
Well, my advice to you is,
Now, this is it. Listen.
while you can.
You see? Someone drops a cane and you can't quite make out what she says. Here, I'll play it for you again.
While you can.
You can't, is she saying live or leave?
While you can.
I mean, it's Beatrice Stockwell, so it could just be a cynical quip. But then again, it's a wedding, and that's exactly what you think when you're standing at the altar, isn't it? Live or leave. And you have to live because you do love her in some way. I mean, it's not an exact science. An arrow doesn't come down from the sky and point to the one you're supposed to be with. So one day you say to someone, you say, I love you? And you basically phrase it as a question, but they take it as fact. And then they're standing in front of you in a $3,000 dress with tears in their eyes, and her nephew made the chuppah. So what do? You say, I was joking, I was kidding. Ah! No, you live. You have to live. You choose to live. And for a couple months, you stand there staring at the alien form in bed beside you, and you think to yourself, who are you? Who are you? And then you say it out loud. And then it's trial separation and couples counseling, and all your conversations are about her eating disorder and your Zoloft addiction, and you're constantly redefining and reevaluating and revisiting until finally you lose the deposit on the house. And then the whole relationship ends on one particularly ugly note with your only copy of Gypsy soaring through the air and smashing against the living room wall. But still, in the larger sense, in the broader sense, it's better to have lived than left. Right?
While you can.
You don't know how many times I've listened to that part.
Oh, Chaperone, you certainly do have a way with words. Robert, I've thought about it. My answer is yes, I will marry you.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Mr. Feltzig, it seems like this wedding is a done deal. Now you're in trouble. And there's nothing you can do about it.
Oh, but there is. I have a new act, a new leading lady. Presenting Kitty the Incredible. Now show the boys how you can read my mind. My mind.
Kitty, will you marry me? Holy cow, Mr. Belzy! Yes!
Bravo, bravo! Isn't she amazing?
Well, what are we waiting for? You ladies go put on your frillies and we'll all get married in one big clump. That's how they do it in Utah.
George, I don't know how you managed to pull it off. 4 weddings in one day? I guess you're everybody's best man now.
I am.
See?
Yes, I am.
Hey! He's George, the best man, George.
I'm honored to be doing what a best man ought.
He's basking in the glory of the life well fought.
Wedding bells will ring, wedding bells will chime, wedding bells will celebrate a happy wedding time. Wedding bells will celebrate a happy wedding. Minister, you may begin. Oh no, I forgot the minister.
Oh, fuck you!
Who the hell are you?
I'm Trix, the aviatrix, queen of the sky. To Rio I was wending when my engine needed mending. I'll fix my navigatrix, and then I'll fly and let your lover sigh. I'm not so sorry to crash the party, folks, but we'll have this fixed up in 2 shakes, and then off to Rio for carnival.
Wait, the captain of a ship can perform a wedding.
Yes!
And a pilot is comparable to a captain!
Yes! An airplane is a kind of sheep. A sheep of the air. Some call it an airship.
Oh, shit! Yes! Wait, I got it. Tricks. You can marry them on the plane and then we'll all have the honeymoon in Rio.
A bride and groom in a chapel may bring a tear to the eye, but what a thrill when lovebirds trill, I do in the sky. When vows are set in and bees and daffodils sigh. When sweethearts thus I do in the sky. Do you?
We do.
Do you? We do. Do you? We do. Do you? We do.
A bride and groom in a chapel may bring a tear to the eye.
With rainbows meeting before us and clouds meandering by, one can't restrain that sweet refrain. I do in the sky. When vows are set in bees and daffodils sigh. Well, heartbeats rush when sweethearts gush. I do in the sky. I do in the sky. Look, up ahead!
You see it?
Could be. Yes, it's Rio. Come hurry up, Chris. We've got one thing to do.
Then fly, then fly. And clouds meandering by.
One can't restrain that sweet refrain. I do.
Oh no! Oh, I can't believe it! Okay, everybody stay calm. This happens occasionally. It's a terrible old apartment with horrible wiring. Just keep the show alive in your minds. Just concentrate. Don't talk to anyone. Don't let anything distract you. I'll find the fuse box. Everybody be quiet.
It's the super.
Oh, God.
Hi.
Hello?
Your lights are out.
Yes.
Yeah, we had to shut the power off because we're replacing the breaker panels in the basement.
Yes.
So we replaced it, but when we turned the power off, the breakers in all the apartments tripped.
Yes.
That's what happens. It's normal.
Yes.
So I got to reset your breakers.
Now?
It'll only take a second.
All right. All right. All right.
Because I tried calling you earlier before, but there was no answer.
Oh, I've been having a problem with the phone.
Here we go. What was that?
It was nothing. Just a record.
What kind of music was that?
It was just music from a show, you know, musical.
You like musicals?
No.
I love musicals. I go with the wife all the time. It's amazing what they can do nowadays. Did you see them in Saigon? They landed a helicopter on stage in that one. Yeah, I've seen them all. I've seen Cats, Les Mis, Saturday Night Fever. I like the movie better.
Really? Well, goodbye. Well, that's it. It's ruined. One note from the end of the show, and the mood is broken. I should just start over from the beginning. No, I can't do that, can I? Oh, it's so frustrating. You have to understand, I love this show so much, and I've never even seen it. My mother gave me this record. It was right before my father left us. He didn't leave because of the record, although I'm sure it didn't help matters much. Look, I know the show isn't perfect. The spit take scene is lame, the monkey motif is labored, but none of that matters, because it does what a musical is supposed to do. It takes you to a different world. It gives you a little tune to carry with you in your head. A little something to help you escape the dreary horrors of the real world. A little something for when you're feeling blue. You know? As we stumble along on life's funny journey. As we stumble along into the blue, we look here and we look there, seeking answers anywhere, never sure of where to turn or what.
I'm an accident waiting to happen.
I don't want to sing tunes no
Life's
more.
crazy.
Wedding bells will ring, wedding bells will chime.
Left from right, nor right.
I am not
Best that we can do is hope a bluebird.
We'll sing his song as we stumble along.
Through life's crazy land.